What did you think of Hutch?
Hutch is great. I love this town. Cool old buildings and most still in use, and it is a beautiful day for the first week of November.
It's November 6th, beautiful day. We're in downtown Hutchinson, or Hutch as the locals call it.
All right, as always, Caro, tell us a little bit about this place.
Okay, well, as we mentioned, the locals call it Hutch, but it is also known as Salt City, and that's because they've had salt mines there since the 1880s, since 1887 actually. And as of 2020, the population was about 40,000. This is a really great little city, and something you won't see in this video, but I want to highlight is it's also home to the Cosmosphere, which is a huge space museum. So if you go to Hutch, you gotta go to the Cosmosphere.
Yeah, on that note, this is going to be pretty much a focus on the downtown area. In fact, probably about a 10-block downtown area, because Caroline and I really enjoy seeing the oldest parts of the towns we visit. Basically, when we go someplace new, there's two destinations. One is the downtown, of course, and the second one, oddly enough, would be if it has an old college, because those are usually the places you'll find the most unique architecture and landscaping and things like that.
So here we are in downtown Hutch, and you can just see these really great old buildings. Across the street there was a grocery store that's still in use. You can see it there with the greenish awning. Just a really neat part of town.
We actually didn't start at the very end of downtown. It's a very industrial part of town that seems like the Tyson Food Company has commandeered most of. But if you do go all the way to the end, you will end up at a very cool park that we actually probably will end up filming, just because it's got some great trails and a disc golf course, and like a little fishing pond.
This is right in the heart of the downtown area. You can go under the main streets. They just put this little short, it's a very small walking path, but it's really cute what they've done and made it a little mini park right on the main street there.
Notice the side of the building. I know it's just barely visible, but one thing that surprised us, every town we visited, whether it's a bigger city like Wichita or Hutch or some of these small towns, all of them seem to have a fair amount of art scattered throughout the city, and not just necessarily on the main street. Even in this video, when we get a little deeper into it, we walk into a lot of the alleyways, and then we're just greeted by these amazing murals. So way to go, Kansas. They really like their art.
This is an old Masonic temple that is now a theater, and you could see how big it was.
This little park is just right across the street from that temple. And this is just an alleyway kind of between the main street and the next street. And I just thought that was kind of cool to capture what they look like from the backside. Not quite as spiffied up.
No, the facades of the front of the buildings have been updated, but not necessarily the back.
So we're back on the main street here, and we are definitely zigzagging. There's no pattern. We just look down the side streets. If we see something cool, we chase it, just like this next series of pictures.
So you can see that's a motorcycle up on top of that post, and then there was some other in this park really that are part of the works of art. They're being used like sculptures.
Take note of the building in the background. I was almost more fascinated with that than I was with the old motorcycles. So I told Caroline, we gotta go around this thing and see what it looks like, because it looks like these things have been unoccupied for a long time. And so here is the front of it.
And we almost couldn't find any information. This is an apartment building and it's really old. And what's interesting is we could not tell if it's in use or not, but it's a really cool building.
Well, it certainly looks like it's abandoned and probably should be, but there was a little bit of signs that perhaps some people live there.
Right.
So I'm not sure, but kind of a cool picture either way. We like the building. And here we are back on the main strip.
There's the Fox Theater, and you know, many cities have old Fox theaters and they've restored theirs. They use it for symphony and other events, and you can see it right there. It's really, really cool. And here's some more outdoor art.
I always try to identify my favorite buildings that we come across in these videos, and that bank that we just showed, and we'll show it again here shortly, I think probably is the winner in terms of downtown Hutch. Just really cool, dated 1886, and here we are actually right in front of it. We get a better picture of it when we make our way back from the other side.
Jeff and I have always commented how the tops of buildings have such amazing detail that you just don't see nowadays.
Again, more just examples of random art scattered throughout the downtown area. Another really interesting building. It takes up an entire city block, and hard to tell in the video, but very ornate, especially at the top.
And a cool Union building.
This building makes me sad. It looks like it was really cool back in the day. I'm guessing it was a hotel.
But it's obviously abandoned.
And we're about to make the turn here, but before we do, we had to stop and get a little refreshment.
At Salt City Brewing.
So basically now we're heading back just on the opposite side of the street so we can get a better view of the side we were previously on. And there's my bank.
It really is a cool building. And more art. This was on the sidewalk.
And these are from a side street we explored. We found another brewing company.
And another mural.
And yes, we did try the beer at the brewing company, and yes, it was fantastic.
Of course.
That actually is the brewing company from how you enter from the alley.
I love this mural of the Fox Theater in Hutch downtown.
And we're back to the city park that goes underneath the main street, only now we are on the opposite side.
And you can really see the fall colors here.
When we get to the end of the block, we ventured on another side street, went to an alley, and this is what we found.
The entire side of the building on one side and then the garage door on the other had murals painted on it.
Alright, now we're basically back to the same place that we started. So we'll wrap this up.
What do you think of Hutch?
Hutch is great. I love this town. Cool old buildings and most still in use, and it is a beautiful day for the first week of November.
On to the next adventure.
See you next time.